So I'm just going to go over some of the sites that I use for looking for salvage cars in Canada. Some of the ones that I find are the easiest to look for, but may not have the best selection, and some of the ones that have more selection but are a little bit harder to buy on. So right now I'm on Kijiji, which is probably the easiest one you'd start with. A lot of people don't know. You can come in here now that Kijiji's kind of updated itself, and you can come in here and just search for Canada. That'll give you the Canada-wide results. If you live in somewhere like Ontario or Alberta or out west in BC, you would probably have more results than somewhere where I would, like out on the East Coast in the Maritimes. So I've already come in and gone to cars and trucks, and you got all your provinces here. So where you'll go is down here to the condition. If you're looking for salvage, you can come in here and click salvage, and then you've got your results. And this is one way you can go through and kind of see what's available in Canada. These are all private sale, so you know, more than likely you can barter with the owner and perhaps get a better deal. So what I like to do is I'll search through here, and I'll also go through, remove this filter, and then I'll go through the damaged condition as well. Just because some people list, you know, different ads based on kind of what they think is wrong with the car. So as you can see here, you know, there's not a whole lot of options. A lot of times it's older cars, but you get the point, I guess. Another way to do it is some people try and skirt around having used the correct condition in their ad when they're posting. So what you can do there is remove all your filters, and then say you're searching for something really specific. We're still in Canada, we're still cars and trucks. You can come up here and just search salvage Audi for example, and then it'll give you any sort of results that that would pertain to that keyword search. So this is the first tool that I guess I would use if you're looking for something really easy. Again, not the greatest selection. Alright, so after Kijiji we'll go to Auto Trader. Again, kind of the same idea. We're on autotrader.ca. Same idea here. You would come down to advanced search and condition here. A lot of times it's going to say new and used, kind of that's what it starts with as a default. You're going to want to select damaged and unhighlight all of these, click apply, and then because I'm in the Maritimes and we have a very low population compared to somewhere like Ontario, I usually click national, and then I click apply, and you can see we've only got 54 results. So not quite as many results as what we saw on Kijiji, but these are usually dealers, for example LKQ, who are looking to sell their damaged vehicles. So again, there's another option. I like using Auto Trader. You know, you can filter out everything using all these different options, and it's great for looking for cars. So the next place I look quite frequently is Impact Auto. It's just impactauto.ca. This is a great site, but as you'll see, there's much higher selection on the next few sites, but there is some limitations if you're going to want to buy from this site. These are auction-based sites, so occasionally you'll see a car that'll have a buy it now price, in which case you can just pay the fee that they've set there and buy the car outright if you want to make sure that you secure it before the auction goes through. More times than not, this price is probably going to be higher than what it'll go for in auction, but you can be confident knowing that you're going to get the car 100% before it goes through the auction. So as you can see on my screen here, you can search by location, or you can search by makes, and then as you click a make, for example Audi, it'll populate down here, and then you can search by whatever specific model it is that you're looking for. So say you're looking for an S3, and then you can come up and go to search, and as you can see there's one showing in Montreal. The pre-bid right now is 5,100. You click the stock number and it'll open up a little pop-up, and then you can check out all the details about the car. So all the additional photos, kind of do your assessment based on what you think it might cost to fix, how much you'd like to have into it, and etc. It gives you some basic stats about the car. There's 3,000 kilometers, actual cash value, damage estimate. They got some info over here. Starts no, drives no, odometer is actual, airbags good, etc. So that's just an example there. Another way I like to do it is to search by location, just to kind of see what's available close by to me. So what I'll usually do is come in here and highlight Halifax, and I'll also highlight Moncton being the closest auction to me. And then I'll just search the vehicles, and I've got the filter applied for the newest year. Will come up first, and then it'll tell you over here, this one's in Halifax, Moncton, etc. So then you can go through and try and find whatever vehicle it is you're looking for. One of the problems with trying to buy from a site like this is that you need to have, I believe for this site, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not actually a member. I believe you have to have a dealer license, and you need to pay a fee to be able to get into these auctions. You can create an account, and you can go log into auctions and watch them, but you can't do any bidding. So that's kind of one of the drawbacks to this one. More than likely, if you want to buy a car from a site like this, you'll probably be able to find someone local to you, an auto body collision center or something like that, or a salvage yard, and they more than likely use this site to buy some of their cars from auction. So sometimes what they'll do is they'll charge you a fee, and you can just get them to bid on the car for you. So another site that I don't really have much experience with is Odessa, and like the previous site, you need to have certain credentials to be able to get into this site, but they do have a lot of good cars that go for sale through here as well. One that everyone probably knows, if you've done a little bit of research for looking for salvage cars, is Copart. So Copart's really good. You can search by locations. It's usually what I do. If you're looking for something really specific, you can search it up here, and it'll kick out the two options, and I'll give you the locations. Both of these are in the US and not really close to me, so what I like to do is kind of just to see what's available near me. There's tons of locations to the US, and down in Canada there's more than there used to be, which is great. So I'll search Moncton usually, Halifax, and Toronto. Toronto usually has some of the really good cars available, just because of the population. There's more people getting into accidents, and more cars available. And this is probably, out of all the places, Kijiji, Auto Trader, Impact, this has the most selection, because the auctions are the biggest, and quite easy to narrow it down based on what you're looking for. So you can see here in Moncton, in my local auction, there's a couple four-wheelers, and then we get into all the cars. So this is another way to search here. I really like using Copart. What I'll do is I usually just come in, I'll go to locations, and then I'll scroll down to what I have here, open up each kind of city, I guess, or each auction location, and then I'll search through their inventory list that way. As opposed to, if you know exactly what it is you're looking for, you can come in here and type in what it is you're looking for and narrow it down that way. But I kind of look at everything, so I just search by location and then go through the list and see what interests me. So that's another site. That's probably the highest recommended site, and for buying on Copart, it's a lot easier than, say, buying on Impact, because all you need on Copart is you just make a free account and you can go in and you add your deposit, and I think it's 10%. So if you add $300, you can bid $3,000. If you add $3,000, you can bid $30,000. So that's how that works. There is fees and everything, auction fees and tax that's charged on a winning bid. So do your research there on all the extra fees when you're buying through Copart. But it gives you access to a lot of really nice cars and across Canada and the US. So a lot of good options. After you get kind of through all these big sites, you can go to what would be, I guess you could call a dealer for salvage cars. They buy them up, usually from Copart and Impact and Odessa. They'll buy them through these auctions, and then they resell them. They'll either fix them and sell them as a rebuilt title, or they'll buy them as a salvage title and then mark them up a little bit so that they can make something in the middle, and then sell them off to whoever's interested in buying. So there's a few sites here in Canada that I like to check regularly just to see what they've got. The first one being Daniela Sired. It's the closest to me again, in Quebec. So I usually check here. You just come into pre-owned, and this is just like buying any car private sale or from a dealer. So you can just go through the list, and then what you see here is kind of what you get versus when you're in Copart. You got current bids. These are all bid vehicles, so they go to auction, and then you don't know if you're going to get it. You don't know what price it's going to go for. Sometimes it'll go for a really good price, or sometimes people bid up a car because they get emotional and really want it. So here, what you see here for price is kind of what you get. Again, another good option. Lots of cars here for sale to go through and look at. I actually just thought of a couple more sites that I'd like to show you. So these, again, they're kind of the same as Daniela Sired. So Maritime Auto, this is actually closer than Daniela Sired. They just don't have quite the selection that Daniela Sired would have. They just don't buy as many cars. They are a salvage yard, so they buy most of their cars, I guess, for salvage parts. They do buy some for rebuilders, as you can see. This is just a small list. You can come in here and go to their full list and see what else they've got available. Yeah, so that's there, and there's also Bass Trash Auto Salvage, which is another good option. Again, another small outfit, just a salvage yard, and they usually only have 10 or 20 cars for sale at a time. So there's another choice. And here's a larger option. Not sure where that cut out on me there, but this is now LKQ. And they're another good place to go on and look for some cars in Canada. What I did was I just searched for all makes and models, and then it'll bring you up to a list, and again you can just scroll through, check if there's anything you're interested in, and then you can get in contact with them if you find something you like. So the next choice, which I really like, is First Choice Auto Salvage. They're based in Ontario, so central Canada. And again, this is just like a dealer. You can go in, you can look at the cars they've got, and you can buy direct from them. and you don't need to have any sort of special licenses or anything like that. It's just a straight up buy the car like a normal dealer. And they've got good selection, pretty good selection. You know, they carry some more higher end cars, which is nice if you're into that sort of thing. Or I mean, if you're into Honda Civic, I'm sure they carry those as well. Yeah, so they've got 12 Civics in stock, so you can, there's a Civic SI right there, looks to be, or a Civic Sport, I'm not sure what the difference is, but yeah, so another good option there as well. That's First Choice Auto Salvage. Stark Auto Sales, another awesome choice. They've got tons of selection. They started it with one location. Now they're up to 5, I guess you can see here. And again, this is just like buying from a dealer, so the selection is not quite as much as what you'd see on Copart, but it's still really good. It's much better, say, than Daniela Sired or Maritime Auto Salvage or Bastrach. Those are all a little smaller outfits. This is the real deal. These guys buy a lot of cars. So you can come in here and just check the list and see if they've got what you're looking for, and then you'll see what they've got. Anyway, another good site to search using all the different filters and see if you can find what you want. And yeah, that's basically it. I use most of these sites to look for any sort of cars that I'm looking to buy. A lot of times if I have something specific in mind, I will, you know, search right for that specific car, but a lot of times I like to kind of just browse and see what's available. I find you don't really, you know, think of certain cars or certain makes and models until you actually see one that's crashed, and then you say, oh, that would kind of be a cool project to buy up and work on. So yeah, I would suggest using any of these sites, and if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. I am definitely not an expert in this, but it is an interest of mine and a hobby, so these are kind of some of the tips and tricks that a lot of my friends ask me about when you know, when I tell them about buying salvage cars and this and that. These are some of the sites that I use. If you were looking in the US, that would be a totally different story. You know, there's a lot of kind of dealers that buy cars from the auctions and resell them, which kind of takes out a lot of the guesswork, you know, what licenses, what fees, this and that. It just makes it easy. You just go to them and you can buy it straight from them. But then again, if you use Copart in the States, which you can do in Canada, you can buy cars from Copart in the States, but then you have the dollar exchange, which right now is pretty terrible, from Canadian to US, so I wouldn't suggest it. But if it was somewhere near par, that would definitely be an awesome option, because they have a massive selection of vehicles in the States on Copart, and there's a few others that are really good. I could do a video on that as well if required. Anyway, thank you.